Okay, this should be fun. Let me get all, Hey everybody. Getting things all sort of set up. Something completely different. I'm glad, Benak. Yeah, so today, is not Slay the Spire. You might think it's Friday, it's Slay the Spire. Where's Slay the Spire? Well, I realized that today was, rotation on, Pokemon Standard format. And I haven't, like, been touching Pokemon as the Pokemon TCG game, the PTCG Live, a ton. Last time I touched this was, like, Obsidian. It was, like, the most recent set. Still not quite ready to get into this game, but I love it so much. Basically that. Like, I love this TCG for how kind of easy it is to jump in and out, and how, like, I understand it, and I like playing it, and I like all the Pokemon. And I figure, well, a couple new set release a couple weeks back, combined with a standard set rotation. We now are in, I believe it's revision F or rotation F or F forward on the cards. If I go into a deck and I click on edit deck, I click on a card, you can see that down here in this corner, there's a F. It's a little small, but that's the that's how rotation works in this game, is that, like, it's like anything from a letter forward. So E was the one that just rotated, which, what makes this deck? Trying to see what I'm probably playing. Ah, right, VIP Battle Pass. That's the rotation piece. Shabby, thank you very much for the sub. So, a number of it's like, okay, well, things have rotated, so we have new cards to look at and new sets to look around. A lot of people at VIP Battle Pass is dead, they're happy about. Yeah, this card was, like, incredibly powerful, but, only usable on turn 1, so dead every turn past. So, I see I own some new stuff. Maybe there must be, like, some, like, regulation F starter decks. So, exit. That's fine. We're not editing that deck. But yeah, what I wanted to do today was open up some packs, take a look at cards and arts and fun bits, do some deck building, some games. I don't know, explore. I don't really have any specific goals other than explore the space. You know how it be. So, on that note, let me pull up. So this, I'm pretty sure this camera it's trying to find is my Switch. Like, it's trying to find Dragon Warrior monsters right now. It's not gonna find it, but, like, that's what it's trying to find. So, let me test this. I have a pile of codes that Gnome sent my way. I'm gonna just see if they, like... I don't think I've done anything with these, so... Okay. I remember this Finding Advanced War. Yeah. Well, so one of the things that's also really cool on the live bit, before I pull up a bunch of packs, we'll just pull up the one here. But the thing I find really cool on PTCG Live is that you get a ton of really, like, you get, like, on the pass for each set, there's, like, a deck and then a second deck, and it's super easy to have. 1 of 400 is the limit of like being able to do it at the same time, I think. Like if I put in all the codes at once, I think it stops you at that many. You can't scan 800 codes at once. I still wish this view was a little bigger. I think we get a bigger view when we Iron Jungulus. Yeah, hold on. Like after. All right, hold on. Yeah, here we go. Bigger view. So we've got our friend Honedge. We've got Iron Jungulus. So, previously this is something that Pokemon has done a number of times, where like we have kind of like a card typing in the top right. Single Strike, Rapid Strike, in Sword Shield, Fusion Strike. We had a Team Plasma at an earlier time, Team Magma, Team Aqua. I actually think those might have been names. But like, the idea there for those was these are like, you know, a subtype. And the with Scarvi, it's kind of easy for the breakdown because Future is our future Pokemon, our fake Hydreigon here. And then we have like Ancient as the other side. 5 energy is I think the highest I've seen. That's like, if this Pokemon has a future booster energy capsule, this costs 3 instead of 5. Like Guzzlord is one I can think of with another 5 energy attack. Doesn't the current Charizard have one of those as well? But yeah, Homing Headbutt hits 3. This is, you know, colorless. So it's neat. Yo! Now this is what I'm here for. I love art like this. I love seeing the cool full arts where we have, here's Big Steelix helping out at the construction yard. Look down here. We got Girder and friends. Timber Girder. I don't see a Conkeldurr, but you know, there's no concrete pillars around. Yeah, Pokemon just helping out and being friends. Mouse. If this Pokemon in your active spot is damaged by an attack, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each of your Tandem Mouse, Mousehold, and Mousehold EX in play. Okay, so if this is your active and they bop your mouse, they take damage back for each 3 damage back for each mouse you have around, which is likely maxed out at 4. Nom Nom Incisors EX, so it's a 2 prize. Take a tank. Oh, boundless power. That's actually a lot of damage for like a 1 energy, like stage 1 of an evolution. Generally, like this attack is like either like the tiniest damage ever, or like or like a searcher or a draw or something. Ancient Boost Energy Capsule. The Ancient Pokemon this card has attention gets plus 60 HP. Can't be affected by special conditions. Oh. Huh. Oh no. Alright. But yeah, like I said likely 120 max because 4X, but Mousehold AEX and Mousehold are different cards, but you'd still have to have the Tandem Mouse to evolve into, you know. I'm gonna put these in one at a time. Or actually, no, we'll put them in a couple of times so then we can look at them in the the end screen together. So I wish I could like these are images of a physical object, so I'm like so like I am I but they're also like an image of a physical object, so I don't think I can like I can't scan them because they're like not I can't oh god, what did I Oh, I missed the last one. Okay, that got that. And then we'll open like a couple of these at once. I think the I guess I'm comparing it to PTCGO. Like I'm sad that like opening this up there hasn't been like some updates to like the way collection stuff is done and like viewing cards. I wish there was a little better bits there as far as the client goes, but like the way that everything is let's just collect these and see what we have here. Right, if I hit the box, like collect all, does that bring me to the yeah, that brings me to here. Okay, this is what I want, because this is where I can see the cards bigger. Fighting Tauros. Oh, look at that happy Vigoroth in the city. What will they do? Its stress level rises if it cannot keep moving constantly. Too much stress makes it feel sick. Oh, that's nice that there's a good source. I could never find a good source for like people playing the card game and like decks and ideas. Everything I could try to find was like too dead. Yeah, so this is an attack I expect on a stage 1 evolution. Or a basic, not of an evolution. Wigglytuff. Once during your turn, you may attach a therapeutic energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Alright. Double energy play, thanks to Wigglytuff. You're gonna keep getting hit by that, Jolly. I'm sorry. I should figure out how to make Nightbot less aggressive. I still want to be aggressive. Ooh. Finizen. Switches Pokemon on your bench. Okay, so this lets you go into Palafin and then have Palafin's, like, kind of gimmick online. So Palafin wants you to be, like, switch in, like, style. Because that's what Palafin does in the game. The VGC. VG... Video game... Is it VG? Why is it VGC? I've heard it referred to as that. Well, I'm trying to think about that, like, video game, because I like championship. That's not okay. I guess like because I'm trying to think of a way to describe it that isn't like competitive, but I guess there's no language for that. Electros. Okay, pull in 60 and paralyze on a. Oh yes. Okay. Somebody mentioned this style of art from Yukabori. It's beautiful. This is my favorite. Cat kick. This is a good purloin. I like this purloin. I like the setup here. Jirachi, prevent all damage from being placed on. Prevent all damage counters from being placed on your bench Pokemon by effects of attacks used by your opponent's basic Pokemon who are named Sableye. Is that what this is? Is that... I'm pretty sure that's what this card is designed as. Like... Because, like, there have been a ton of, like, Mr. Mime, Manaphy that's, like, prevent all damage that would be dealt to your bench. Like, there's a lot of that. Like just prevent all damage that would be dealt to your bench. But Sableye in the Lost Zone decks says place damage counters on Pokemon in any way you like, and it bypasses that. So this Jirachi is like, look, this might as well just say, well, this is on your bench. Jirachi can't no, well, Jirachi is on your bench. Sableye can only hit your active. Like, this is Pithing Needle. Like, ah! I love the way that tandem houses are always going, ah! Ooh! Here we are. How lucky you feeling? How many coins can you flip heads? You could win in an instant. Tandem Mouse can destroy anything. Reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. This attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each energy you find. Discard this energy, shuffle the rest back. Huh. That's really interesting. Because, like, there are a number of ways in the game to shuffle energy back into your deck. Either on, like, you know, fishing rod style cards that shuffle them back in, or more powerful bits. And this snipes, too. Dondozo. So, yeah, you see the 5 here is, again, when you have big Pokemon, they just get this. Only top 5 cards of your deck, attach any basic energy you find to this Pokemon. Nope. Scroll. Ooh, look at the eyes on our friend here. On Minor? Minoir? I don't know that I've heard this Pokemon's name said aloud ever. This is on your bench. When you attach an energy to this card, you can switch active. 20 damage for retreat cost. Meteor. Yo, okay. So I've got my Volcarona sitting right over here next to me. I got to have a lot of good coming out of Scarvi because there's many Volcaronas. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to active, steal any fire energy from your other Pokemon. 120, it can't attack again. So this is like a way of like forcing out an attack. Like if you just pull energy off of anything else that could build it. Iron Valiant EX. This is pretty cool of the future ones. The Gallade Gardevoir future combination. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves, you're eventually active. You put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's active. Yeah, cool. This Pokemon. Oh yes. This attack says this Pokemon can't use Heat Ray, and the way the Moth works is it steals all the fire energy. So you could move a second Moth in and pull all the energy off Moth 1 and have Moth 2 attack because it's not this Pokemon. That's very specific wording. It's this Pokemon meaning this card. Even if you swap in and out, it forgets. Iron Valiant, this is pretty cool. It's a basic 220 EX. You get to swap and do shots. The attack's like not great, but it's like 200 damage, pretty big. Let me go check Jirachi. I think Jirachi says attacks. Effects of attacks. No, Jirachi is like, this is here for Sableye, and like, everybody else is fine. Like, this actually does damage. This is like, actually I wonder if the effects of attack stops damage from this. Because that is effect text. Anyway. Brassius, count the cards in your hand, shuffle those cards in your deck, draw that many +1. Okay, yeah, cool. So, let's just cycle your hand plus Brassius here. Like, counting Brassius is basically what this says. Future booster energy. Future Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost, and it does 20 more damage. Okay. So this happened also with like strong style, rapid style future fusion strike stuff. The support stuff for it is real powerful. Like free retreat, like that says a lot to me. Hey, Great Ball. Alright. We're just gonna be opening cards. I told you that this was kind of what the stream was gonna be, because I want to like look at cards, and I haven't looked at any of these sets, so like a lot of these are brand new to me, and I love to like see the art on them. I wonder if do I have a way of like, where's my webcam's somewhere around here, but like not. But these aren't even like, I don't know if these are readable even, because they're an image that's like not. They didn't change the way it worked, they changed the way that it like was spread. Which is to say that like, it used to be that like the way that dark or, this is supposed to be. Like, they fixed the spread so there wasn't as much of an imbalance, making certain types way better than others. You know what I mean? Like, some types had just, like, a stronger, like, spread because they were used more often. Oh, God, typing these is... Is that a V or a W? That's a T, not a 7. Okay. This is the... I have codes to copy paste for like... I should have done this beforehand. I didn't even think about this as like an action I should have taken ahead of time. Because I came up with this stream about 10 minutes before I started streaming today. So, this was a little spur of the moment. because I saw like the rotation was happening, and I was like, oh, I should like do that, do stuff for this because I like. Right, we're not opening packs. We're just gonna look. All right. Voltorb. Ooh, these are beautiful eggs. Also, damn, Mousehold, the Tandemaus Mousehold have nothing on ball roll. Now we're talking. Oh, tag yourself. Three times as many eggs as mice, 3 times the damage. Makes sense. I think I'm this egg right now. Sometimes I feel like this egg, though. Bone throw. Good old Marowak. Good Hitmonlee about to kick you. 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon swap. Okay. Low kick. This is like I'm about to take the knee to the face. Oh! Cougher! How happy coughing is here. Cougher! Weezing. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, is knocked out by damage from an attack, flip a coin if heads. Okay. So if you knock out Weezing, 50-50, you're going down. I also would like to point out on this one, it's a little small. This was like a Gengar had this in an older. There was an older Gengar, I remember, that had this attack, had this effect. Bicycle with a propane tank. Weezing with a propane tank. But look at the coughing. It's very tiny, but the expression on this coughing is great. I just want you to know that. Wow. Cocoon. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent done to this Pokemon. Damage is not an effect. This is important. Like I said, when I said that Jirachi was there to stop one card, it might as well have named it. Yo! Evolved from antique dome fossil. Ooh, there's actually it's actually a dome fossil. Kabuto. Yeah. Actually a stage 1, so it gets like some power backing it. The cruise. Hell yeah. So dragon typing is its own type for like, you know, the top right here. So like, but it doesn't have its own energy type. Rather, dragon typing is multicolor. Dragons will have a 2-color requirement for their attacks, and that requirement is consistent in itself. How do I mean? Rayquazas, all Rayquazas are always grass lightning. I believe Salamence is water fire. Garchomp is water fighting. Like, they're all consistent with other, because this isn't the only Dragonite that exists. There are many Dragonites over the course of the game, and so they kind of follow that, where they're always the same color combo. But... oh... that's so good. I'm so... the lights... the little Charmander on a hill. 70 HP Charmander, okay. Charmander... Charizard was in a very good position when I last left the game. I have to assume that hasn't changed. The, like, Charizard in Obsidian Flames was very powerful. Not only because it was a good card, but it was a Terra-typed Charizard. So, like, it allowed it to, like, dodge the, not Haxcalibur. The ice matchup. Chanpao? The king. If you have Nidoqueen in play, ignore energy costs of attacks on this Pokemon. The Enthusiastic King is free 190. Free. And it's not 190, it's actually going to be 200 because of the poison immediately. Which you might be able to up that with something like Hisuian, Levo? No. I was playing it in my Glamora. Regal. Yeah, that's a Venusaur. Huge. Big. If this Pokemon's your active Pokemon, you can heal 60 damage once per turn. Big and can heal more. Sneasler, yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Here's our tiny eat a leaf. Have a leaf. The other... oh, okay. This is... wait, we had an Alt-Art King. Of course, this is the Alt-Art King. Yeah. It was earlier mentioned that, like, there were, like, some kind of, not type changes, but, like, Pokemon type to TCG type shifts. And Poison shifting to Dark was one that happened over time. Which is why Nidoking here is in, Poison, or it is in Dark. Volp. Good Vulpix. Is that like a... this looks like almost like a original art coloration on the Zubat. Like I'm looking at a 1996 drawing of a Zubat, right? Like the coloration on this very specifically makes me think of the stylings of crap artist. The original artist that I'm thinking of for like all the original Sugimori, yeah, thank you. I don't know, just the coloration makes me feel that that's like what we're pulling on. That reveal their hand if this is in your active Echo. Parasect, just having a good one. Jungle Zubat. This card is legal! Kadabra, it's legal to do it! for those not in the know, Kadabra was illegal for like 20 years. Like, this, like, because of a threat of a lawsuit sort of thing, Kadabra specifically could not get a Pokemon card made They sidestepped this with EX Basics Alakazams. They had an Abra that evolved straight to Alakazam, but, was it Uri Geller? Oh yeah, this just says, Grass Pokemon. That sure doesn't say Basic. But yeah, it's legal to do it. Tentacool. Hanging out. Watering. Also Tentacool. Ooh, I like this one for like the like junk in the background. Gummy Press. There's like a Pokeball floating down. Born from sludge, these Pokemon gather in polluted places and increase the bacteria in their bodies. I'm feeling so relaxed looking at this Drowsy. This is just hanging out on the rooftop. I don't know how Drowsy's getting down, probably floating. I think you have to like headbutt cancel into another headbutt to like kind of float down and then attack and then float down and cancel fall damage. You know? Alright, I'm gonna... Rather than continue with the cards I have, I'm gonna use the, I'm gonna use the actual codes I have sitting on the side for packs. Because those should be much quicker to enter. Because I can copy-paste them. Is it just me or they're all Gen 1s in that set? That set was called Pokemon 151. It was that set specifically was a Gen 1 set. The Mew 151 set that those were all from. So, yes, those were a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon. These ones we're gonna see here are Temporal Forces packs. This is the newest set that came out 2 weeks ago. I'm really excited for the TCG Pocket stuff. I want to see what, like, Rush Duel Pokemon looks like, and I like what they said about making the art assets for digital, so that, like, they have, like, kind of, like, cool zoom-in foily effects and stuff. But yeah, that set those packs were from a base set. This is the newest set. So Temporal Forces, this came out 2 weeks ago, and it's the set that kind of kicked off the rotation that we're looking at. So we're gonna go. Oh, I want to go about. We'll start from the bottom and go up. Ancient Explorer's Guidance. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, put 2 of them in your hand, discard the others. Discard, huh? Okay. So, talking about supporters, I've talked about how, like, draw 3. Yeah, Pokemon TCG Pocket certainly seems to be primarily easy, mobile phone way to look at cute art, which I'm all for. Yeah, basically. From the way they were describing it, it seemed like the game was almost secondary to the card collecting, which, sure. But yeah, okay. So this is like, draw 3 is like the most basic supporter in the world, and it's not really playable. It's like Friends of X, Friends of Paldea, and that's generally like the worst you can do on a supporter. This draws 2, but it's out of the top 6, so it's a little bit more of a like impulse effect, like a dig through time, and it bends the rest, which I think is actually the part that makes this. Also, look at the ancient effect on this. This is actually kind of neat. I like the way that like the ancient ones have like this like rock face on the right side of the card. Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking from the future. Search your deck for 2 cards, shuffle, then put those on top. Double Vamp Tutor. Love the Cypher Maniac here. Got the little, like, wiggly smile. They've got the key necklace. They are the future. They've got the purple book thing. They're quite cute, yeah. Little, like a pencil and, like, a magnifying glass. But yeah, this is, like, I think we've had this card a couple times before. This is, like, Search 2, top. Actually, reminds me I haven't played the second DLC for Scarvide. I haven't touched either, and that's something I'm gonna get. This is a gender that will exist in the year 2800. Yes, this is the future genders. Maximum. Okay, so Temporal Forces is the return of an old mechanic from Team Plasma days. I think it was Black White days, called Ace Spec. You can see on the right hand side. Ace Specs are a card type that have the text, you cannot have more than one Ace Spec in your deck total. Which is to say, like, if I have another card that is an Ace Spec, I can only have one total over. If I'm playing Maximum Belt, I can't play any other Ace Spec, and I only get one of this. Attacks used by this Pokemon do 50 more damage to an EX. So, in the old days, the big Ace Spec was a reprint of Computer Search. Computer Search was a card from very, very old days, base Fossil Jungle, that era. Which had the text, discard 2, search your deck for any card. So they printed it in Black-White era. I'm pretty sure it was Black-White era. I think it was Team Plasma era where they had those. They were blue then. Those were, I guess, cyan if we're looking at the magenta here. But Computer Search was base set? Okay, sweet. I wasn't... Well, actually, I knew it wasn't Fossil because Pokeball's the only trainer card in Fossil. That's another fact I know. Anyway, Computer Search was the Ace Spec you played, but Master Ball was also one. Master Ball just search any Pokemon. I like the magenta coloration. I like this foiling on it. Like, this feels like you see this. There's no way you mistake it for anything else, right? Like, you pull this, and it's like, holy shit, this is big. And it is. Like, an Ace Spec you can only use one of, so they have to be quite powerful. They're like Pokemon Prism Stars, if you remember those, or Radiant Pokemon, similar to that. Okay, hold on. If the Pokemon this card is attached to has a retreat cost of 4, is active, and is knocked out by damage from an attack of your opponent's Pokemon, move 3 basic energy from that Pokemon to your bench. Is there a difference between Pokemon EX and Pokemon capital EX? Yes. Pokemon lowercase EX is from Scarvi. Pokemon uppercase EX is from XY. And then Pokemon another lowercase EX is from an earlier. Yeah, when this gets used, it makes metal pipe noise. Yep, Future Booster. The Full Metal Lab. Oh. Okay. Steel Pokemon. Both yours and your opponents take 30 less damage. Full Metal Lab. Full Metal Lab. Yo, Sandy Shocks. Okay, Sandy Shocks is one of the like really cool, like, a lot of the ancient and future Pokemon are really cool. Let me put it that way. But Sandy Shocks, like, I love the like magnetic, like the little magnet bits on there. The iron like fillings. If you have 3 or more energy in play, this attack does 70 more damage, isn't affected by weakness. Okay. So Sandy Shocks is most useful as like a secondary Pokemon where somebody else is setting up. Mudsdale. Attach a basic to each of your oh, I see. I was wondering why this was on an evolution, then I saw each. Big setup. Dog. So Pokemon as a game, like, one energy attachment a turn is the, you know, basic play. Much like Magic has one land a turn. In Magic, you don't generally have everything. Every deck doesn't have like a way to cheat that thing. Like, you know, green can ramp with ramp spells, and there are artifacts that can tap for colors, and maybe a couple of fringe cases where white gets to grab a plains. In Pokemon, there are a ton of different engines for acceleration across every type of in the game. Like, and one of the things here, take a look at if we go to like Mudsdale, this says like pick up basic energy from your discard pile, which explores guidance top 6 mil, right? So we have setup like that, and there's different acceleration tools across different colors and types. Some get better recursion from grave, some get it from deck, some get it from hand, etc. That hurts really good. Okay, this is a basic. So, like, you know, our Weezing was an evolution. That's why I got the, like, 50% knockout. Yeah, it's not like fighting specific. We're gonna see it across all sorts of... Okay, Exadrill is a hero. Exadrill is such a heroic Pokemon. The Heavy Baton styled after Heavy Ball? Yeah, like little bits. Oh, this is a cool Pokemon. Like, for one, look at the art. Like, Relicanth just chilling. But, like, what a cool ability. Your evolved Pokemon can use attacks from previous evolutions. Now, a lot of the time, with basic Pokemon that we've seen, this isn't going to do anything, right? The starter that I got from opening the deck for the first time called only had 10 or 11 energy in him. Yes. I want to say like 11 or 12 energy is like where you're going to see a deck land. Any more than that is like, boy howdy, you're asking to draw too many energy. But like, so a lot of the times, like, this is a card that's going to go into a deck where it's a very specific combo. Because like, you know, take a look at Roselia here. This basic attack, who cares? I don't want to get Leaf Step on my Roserade, right? Like, that doesn't do anything. But, like, there are going to be other worlds where, like, all of a sudden an attack from a lower Pokemon might be a better setup tool, or maybe it gives you, like, a specific thing, like this attack on Sandy Shocks. There's no evolution, obviously, but it's a specific timing. So... Ooh, I love the background on that. Medicham is in this really cool looking, like, we got the greens and pinks and oranges of the trees. Low sweep, high jump kick. Ooh, this is Iron Valiant. So we saw Iron Valiant EX, and you see this is a psychic type, and then the future on the side. That's what the, like, this dotted bit is. Calculation, top 4, put them back in any order. Majestic Sword. If you played a future supporter from your hand this turn, 200 damage. Okay. 200 damage is pretty damn big. That's a lot of energy for that. Hey, Rosalia. Oh, orb! Surprise orb! I'm a big liker of Breloom, Shroomish. I like the little face they have. Breloom has Spore and Focus Punch. That's what I remember Breloom doing. Ooh, catch these hands. Okay, another future. This is the Iron Hands. 30 damage and a Paralyze. If your opponent's active is an EX or V, a V is like the V Max, V. They're the Sword Shield big Pokemon. It does 160 against big. Okay. It's a basic, so that actually is pretty good. Electric basics have good support stuff. Yeah! Hey! Shroom. So I'm like I'm of a Yamper fan. This is a pretty good Bolton though. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and put them on your bench. Okay, so this is a stage 1 that is like a energy setup tool. Oh, and there's Yamper. The starter decks in these are quite real. The decks that you're just given in PTCG Live are like real decks generally. Like they have a plan and succeed at doing it, and then you get more cards that like build the plan better. Yeah, okay. Dog. Zeraora. Got the yeah, got the pads. Doing some flips at night. Okay, I always like yeah, the ones at the start of each season are often pretty close to competitive. Again, I remember, like I said, Obsidian Flames was the last time I was like pretty active into this, and the free deck in Obsidian Flames was the water Chanpao like Excalibur, like that deck that was extremely real, and like the deck they gave you was like a competent version of it too. So, but no, I always like the art on Pokemon cards that have cityscapes in the background. I love Pokemon cityscapes and getting to see like the ways that the big cities are styled. I think that's like a really cool part of the art. Like obviously, you know, wild Pokemon are Pokemon that we're gonna see out in, you know, the woods, but like seeing them in the world, you know, built up this world like this is really cool. Yeah. Holy smokes. Okay. Yo. So Vikavolt one of my favorites. It's a little sad as a Pokemon. I want Vikavolt to be way better than it is. You get it really, really late in Sun Moon, and like it's not like its stats don't match what you think it's gonna be in my mind. But I love Vikavolt anyway. Being the Vic Viper bug. This attack is kind of wild. 80 more damage for each bench Charge-a-Bug being the stage 1. So like the 2 energy is what makes that really interesting to me. That's quite cheap. And like 1 Charge-a-Bug gets you to 200, and 2 gets you to 280. 280 is like real heavy kill threshold. Oh, I love you. Look at the bug on the cliff. Has the same problem all little Pokemon have. Well, that's the thing that's so weird about it. I see Vikavolt and I think, like, this has got to have, like, super speed, right? And it's like, not really, no. Like... Get in the Charge-a-Bug bus. Charge-a-Bus. Oh! Look at this one. Okay. So, like... in the background, like we have the trail that the Stom's been building, but then also in the background there's the second Stom. Stom, where will they go? Okay, this fish is looking right at me. Carvana, so many of them. Yeah, Frelgator. Love the Gator TR. Torrential Heart. Once during your turn, put 5 damage counters on this card. On this Pokemon. If you do, its attacks do 120 more. Oh. So you can just, if you need to punch, like, oh, so Giant Wave is already hitting, like, decently hard. But if you need this to hit, like, big, you just go, ugh, crunch. Pull out so 280 can knock out basically anything but a stage 2 EX. Like the Venusaur we saw earlier. It had 330, I think. And 160 can knock out, like... Yeah, Vikavolt, like, gets knocked out to that. Yeah, very belly drum. Sizzlepede and Centiskorch are pretty cool. Do nothing, huh? I'm not as impressed by that. So, like, healing status conditions is just, like, swap out. Or, like, we saw that attachment earlier that was, like, 60 health plus get rid of special condition. A little too easy to do. Okay, yeah, but on the other hand, have you considered Sizzlepede? Look at this. This is good stuff. We got like the little mustachy bit. We got this nice looking Sizzlepede hanging out. The thing I really appreciate about Pokemon TCG, like art, is that, like, there are so many different ways to show off a Pokemon. And, like, this game has, like, you know, there's 12 different Magikarps, right? But they all are different Magikarps. Cat. Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, this is the stage 2 Torracat. This isn't Litten. This is trying. Torracat is not one I'm like... I know Incineroar and I know Litten. But I don't... Torracat ain't one you see much. Torracat 2? Heatmore. Ooh. Flip 3 coins for each Tails discarded energy from this card. Yeah, okay. Like, I don't know, sometimes it's the stage 2 that's the one that's memorable, sometimes it's the stage 1. Sometimes it's the Bulbasaur. Whenever an opponent moves... oh, okay, hold on. Hey, now. Wait. Uh-huh. Okay. So this is the support. So Magcargo is the friend of Centiskorch. That's cool. Love to see that like, you know, a setup like this isn't going to be like a competitive, you know, game winner. But I really love like a setup that like can feel real. Your payoff for this is something cool, you know? You get a cheap you get this 180 attack that, like, combines with the burn to hit pretty dang hard. And okay, Scent to Scorch isn't heavy, but Meg Cargo is heavy. You know, so like I appreciate that even like like every set can't have like here's the hyper competitive Pokemon, but it can have very cool ideas for Pokemon that build you like you know, we just see two there that all of a sudden that's a deck idea. Or like you see Vikavolt, and this alone can be like, I could build around Vikavolt and have that be a a competently put together idea that can work. Here's your engine. It's cute. I really like that. Okay, I'm really liking again the background on the Slugma here. I like the variation on reds around our Slugma. A common sight in volcanic areas, it slowly slithers around in constant search of warm places. 2 feet 4, 77 pounds. Oh! Spherical shield. I kind of want to like go through all the art in this set and others and just celebrate the art and make note of the artists I really like. Yeah, that's a good like yeah, it's one of the this is kind of the thing I like doing on these is just pulling up these cards and looking at the art and seeing like you can kind of recognize styles, and a number of these artists do have like Pivx or a Twitter or a some sort of account where they post these and other arts too. Hey now, thanks for the raid. Prevent all damage effects of attacks of your Pokemon on their bench. Okay. Official Pokemon website has good galleries of the most recent sets. Sweet. You're big! He's got the neck. Oh, Raging Bolt. So, Raging Bolt, big ancient Pokemon. It's got the full ancient background. Discard your hand, draw 6. Bellowing Thunder. You can discard any amount of basic energy from your Pokemon. 70 damage for each energy disc for the card discarded this way. And it's from any Pokemon. It's not this Pokemon. So you can discard like just whatever you need. Again, the Chanpao deck kind of works like that in a similar-ish way where it uses it. You can adjust how much damage you do based on what you need. If you need to just hit a basic, you can discard 1. If you need to hit like high, you can discard like 3 or 4. Obviously, you need to have some way to get them in play for Raging Bolt to be like usable like that. You need some sort of acceleration, but Grub. Ooh, okay. That's cute. By the way, because actually I want to. Cool thing here. Charge a bug, electric. Grubbin. Grass. Also, this is a way to get a bunch of Grubbin so you can get a bunch of Charge-a-Bugs so that you're ready to go in your Vikavolt deck. Good place to be. Sawsbuck. Changing Seasons. Once during turn, search your deck for a stadium. Put it in your hand. Okay. So you just have control of whatever stadium's in play, either overriding your opponents or tutoring up whatever one you need. Stage 1, which means it's not like super splashable, but if your stadium's that important. I wonder if there's 4 different Sawsbucks. Like, we have Autumn Sawsbuck here. I wonder if there must be like different Sawsbuck for different, because this one says Autumn form. Ooh. Leaf Litter Tackle. Tiny Deerling. flop. Again, look at like comparing the stylization on the Deerling illustration to like the Sawsbuck illustration here. Like, yeah, Path to the Peak, which I think rotated actually. Ooh, be right on new. Search your deck for 2 basic energy and attach them to future Pokemon. And then 160. I guess it's dual type. 160. Okay. Usually, so the way I expect these types of Pokemon to go, basic like this, in my mind, that's like a legendary, is like 120, 130 HP, small attack that maybe does damage and an energy acceleration, and then big attack that does like 110 to 120 damage. Maybe a drawback. Yveltal and Xerneas are the 2 that I think of that kind of start that trend, but it's around a lot. This one is a little heavier on that, because it searches for any future Pokemon, so you put it on itself or others, and its second attack is pretty hefty. And some Pokemon don't have text. Some Pokemon, are here for the crushing. Like, I don't know, like, not Gruel? Melmetal Heal, you're just damage. Look, I don't know what to tell you. That's I like the angle we have on the Mile with the open teeth mouth back here. Switch in one of your opponent's bench poke. Okay, so pull in a Pokemon, deal 30 or 100. More Miles. Hey, Sableye. Oh, that's a cute attack here. You may move any number of damage counters from your opponent's benched Pokemon to the active. Just slurp. Just pull them all in. Got some good gems here. It almost looks like Mighty Yetta's gonna break out of the frame on this one. I don't think Jirachi blocks that. I don't think so, because it's pulling the damage off of the bench onto the active, and Jirachi doesn't block on the active. It really looks like this Mighty Yetta is about to jump out of the frame on me. I think it's because like the like gray frame and the gray swamp match up, so it looks like we're just bleeding it. We caught the Haunter with the spotlight. Like, yeah, they got me. We're in like a ruins out in the woods. This is very cute. Ekans just hanging around a tree. I like the simplicity of the tree background and these like little hills. Like almost like a wispy wood. Turtwig! This Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. Damn, that's a chufty basic. 80 HP and a reduced damage by 20. You ain't taking the smalls hits. Nobody's... If you're knocking out Turtwig, you gotta work for it. Alright. I got 2 more sets of these. This is it. This is all I wanted to do today, was open cards and look at art. I lied. Pack opening streams are actually cool when you just look at all the Pokemon art and are really happy to look at all the Pokemon art. Alright. So this is Paldean Fates. This is the... This is... I think it's the last one. Before Temporal Forces. This is Paldean Fates, and then there's one more in between there as well with, Yo. Alright. So we're gonna collect all, and then we're just gonna go from the start. Really shiny Snover. It's got this cool star, and like the art has the same cool stars. Like, ta-da! It's Snover! Snover's just happy to be here. Newble is neutral to be here. Very Kirby looking, yeah. Newble is not feeling bad or like, but it's just feeling. They're doing all right. They're having a day. You know? They're okay. Burn, Heat Blast. Ooh, okay. Now Camerupt, though. Look at that smirk. You can discard a fighting energy? Ooh, check out that. Now this is what we're talking about. So, the reason this is... You might wonder what's going on here. It's because, like, Camerupt has, like, eruption from these, like, back, bits. And fighting energy is called fighting energy, but fighting energy is also ground and rock. So it's discarding that to power the cannon. That does 240. Do you ever need damage numbers of more than 150 or so? Yes. Like EX Pokemon and like big so Camerupt here just has 130. That is the difference between 2 hit and 1 hit. But EX Pokemon tend to have about like, for like a basic, can have like 200 plus. To a stage 2 evolution, EX having like 300. We saw Venusaur with 330, for instance. And we'll probably see some bigger ones. But the basic EXs, so EXs, when knocked out, are knocked out for multiple prizes. That's why they're so huge. It's not like they do have a drawback. They count as 2 knockouts. So having the option to go this big is actually nice to have it as an optional effect. Because if you just need the 120 to deal enough damage to get over the hump, cool, you go there. But if you're finding yourself in a situation where you need to fire the big guns, you got it. So, the option on that makes it pretty nice. Also, I dig the dual type on this. I dig the ask of, like, you're a fire deck, but also you want a fighting energy on the Camerupt, which might make you, yo, it's Palafin! Justice. Oh my god, speaking of justice, oh my god, Palafin star. 210. If this Pokemon did not move into the active this turn, it does nothing. This Pokemon's ancient genes have awakened. It's wearing the ancient genes. It's now so extraordinarily strong it can easily lift a cruise ship in one fin. But yeah, so it has the tiny attack for if you can't use Justice Kick, but... Thunderous Star? I wonder what these stars... This is like a unique foiling and, like, rarity bit, I guess. As long as this Pokemon is active, prevent all damage done to your bench by attacks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, same artist on these. Is that the same on it? Not on the same on Snover. The same on these two. Nagasawa? Yeah. Yo, is this another Unite Wings? Yo! Is this one, or is this just one of the 3 and I'm just not recognizing the alt art? It might be just one of the ones that I'm not recognizing the alt art on, because I know that there's three. I'm aware of 3 Unite Wings Pokemon, so this might be alt on one of them. Because I think it's... There's one that like grabs copies of itself when you play it. And then there's 2 others, and they have like double colorless attacks. Relax, Lapras. Okay, the shiny cards like that are just alts like that. That makes sense. Okay, this is just an alt of the other watch roll. That's good to know. Love the birds. Yeah, the Unite Wings is kind of like the Marches in the past. Cards that look for Night March and Lost March being the other 2. Ooh, Cyclozar star. Dark Grass. 100 damage, flip a coin if heads. During your opponent's turn, prevent all damage and effects from attacks done to this Pokemon. So, this effect looks really strong, but is kind of broken up by your own, like, swapping effects. If you're able to force a switch, the prevention falls off. That's what makes these a little weaker than they initially look like. But still, like, that's a full protection on the coin flip. Ta-da! One of the 2 basic decks was this. This was I remember this was one of the decks they gave you. Fortress EX. You could blow up Fortress EX to search for 5 basic energy and put them on your Pokemon. As mentioned, EX Pokemon, when knocked out, are worth 2 prizes. So, if you do this, your opponent gets 2 prizes for the explosion. So you need to... Usually Electrode gets this effect. That's a pretty common Electrode text. But yeah, you get the ramp, and then you, yeah... Ramp at any cost. If you're doing this in Magic, you pay half your life, grab a bunch of forests. Wine Cologne from Lechonk. Flip 3 coins, put a number of cards, equal number of heads from your discard pile in your hand. Ooh. Those style of recursion effects are generally more powerful than they look in this game. Yeah, Iono as N, the card N from Black and White. Iono is a variant on that. So, like, you can blow up your fortress, make your opponent on lower prizes, and then play Iono to put them on 4 cards. Yeah, this set likes to have the big stars. Ooh, Lantern. Again, this is a dual type-ish. If this has a water energy, it hits for 200. Again, I like that as a way to, like, this game has multicolor in the dragons, but having a couple ways of, like, making you want to play 2 types, I think is neat. Dark Palafin. The last thing you see before you get rider kicked. The last thing you hear is 1, 2, 3. Like, you're about to... Like, you are a Kamen Rider villain from episode 8, and you are about to just get obliterated. Yeah, Palafin's cool. Oh, Sleepy Palmies and their friends. That's so cute. I love... So one of the... I've talked about a lot of things that I like on the Pokemon TCG. One of them is like there's a lot of alt arts that make it so that like cards don't end up very expensive if you're just trying to buy the cards. Like if you're trying to build a deck, it's generally quite cheap because even the most powerful stuff has like 5 variants, and it's the cool ones that are expensive. But it's not just like powerful Pokemon, like powerful EX Pokemon or supporters that are really strong that get full arts. You just get full arts of like cool basics. You have that Charmander. Like Charmander's one that gets played, obviously, but it doesn't need to. It could just be like, here's a Pokemon people like. It's a Palmy. Oh my god, more eggs. Tag yourself again. Again, so I feel like I'm egg 2, but some days I'm egg 5. Constants of eggs. Egg 4. Egg 3 and egg 6. Execute Psychic Loop. Huh. Put 2 energy from this Pokemon into your hand. So this way, like, if Executor gets knocked out, you don't lose 3 energy, you'll lose 1. But you also have to have a way to get that back out. Interesting. Cloudy days make this Pokemon sluggish. Ah, Kirlia. So, Psychic as an attack is... We've actually seen this on a Pokemon earlier. This is actually a constant. When you see a attack named Psychic, it's always going to be an attack that is, like, heavier damage for more energy, like a Punisher for that. Hey! It's Maractus. What a good Maractus. 4 missiles. It's a basic, That's cute. You don't want to use, like, the energy that, like, lowers damage to get up there to get to the 3. You face Maractus. Hey, Swoobat. Your opponent's active is confused, and they take 6 damage for that condition. Confusion is, if the confused Pokemon tries to attack, if they flip a coin, on heads, it's cool. On tails, it hurt itself in its confusion and takes 3. This makes it 6. Swoobat, a symbol of good luck. Ooh, look at how small Dedenne is. 8-inch. Minor errand running. Just hanging out. We just got the keyboard headset hanging there. It can run minor errands to get you some basic energy. And then it has spin turn. That's nice. Ooh, shinier. The keyboard and mouse. Ah, hello. Mimikyu is doing a impression of a type of card that they print every era. Suicune in older eras does this. Where this Pokemon does not take damage from the current big Pokemon. EX and V just cannot hurt Mimikyu. Which means, you, as a deck that's just playing EX Pokemon, you do have to, like, plan for this. You have to have, like, it doesn't have to be a big plan. We've seen, like, 70 HP is not hard to deal damage to. What's the distinction between deal 70 and put 7 damage counters on? This is an effect of an attack rather than an attack itself. So if a thing has prevent all damage it would take next turn, it doesn't prevent it. It's just it's bypassing that. This isn't doing damage for weakness or resistance. It's just, this is a thing that ghost types tend to get. We saw a Sableye that had a similar thing. But if you have a way to prevent damage, like this card, like right here, Safeguard prevents all damage. This isn't damage. This is bypassing it. Obviously, a Mimikyu doesn't prevent its own, EX or V. It wouldn't affect, but this style of effect, it bypasses. That's a very MTGS interaction. We had a card earlier that might as well have been naming a specific card for that reason. A Jirachi that was basically designed as a 1 Pokemon counter in its wording. Ah, this Pokemon is smooth and moist to the touch. Yo! Hell yes! Oh, it's my dude Ceruledge. I love Ceruledge. 50 heal 30. If the opponent's active Pokemon is an EX or V, it hits for 2. Okay. So if you're fighting up, you get to just pull out the the life sword and go thwunk. This is again, the thing about EXs and Vs is that they have a drawback, but in most cases they are so powerful as to be warping to what can be playable, which makes cards like this a good thing to have in the format to try to tilt it back. This is a net Navi. This is absolutely a net Navi. That's why I love Ceruledge so much. Oh, and you want to have those style things because Vs and EXs are just that powerful as a thing, You want them to feel strong, but you don't want them to feel all-encompassing, like I can't do anything else. Flittle. Very tiny. Ooh. The Graveyard Gambling. 10 damage for each psychic Pokemon in your discard. Dog. Super Mario RPG enemy. Yeah. So, interesting. You could build this to be very, very high, especially for a basic on 1 energy. This is a thing you could definitely build around. We saw mill cards that in the previous packs. We had that ancient mill card that's look at the top 6, mill 4, choose 2. I want to say the Poker's the same person that did some RPG designs. I'd heard the same thing about Ceruledge as a net Navi, that one of the Battle Network visual designers did that. I'm not certain on that, but that's what I had heard. It might have just been that Ceruledge and Armarouge look like net Navis and people were trying to justify that. But if it's true, I mean, it makes sense. Oh. Huh. You know what I was talking about how you could build a deck around Graveyard and have it, be big? What if you get a plus 80 on it? Famous of band. I think Armarouge and Ceruledge were not done by the Battle Network person. I remember reading about that. I remember hearing it, but I couldn't find a thing on it. That's why I'm saying aloud that I couldn't find a thing on it. I don't know. Houndstone. Yeah, make you give you the beatdown. The monkey beats. So this was like, I was definitely playing when this set was out because I built this deck with Annihilate. I remember that. It was one of the decks I built was Annihilate and Garchomp, setting up the one-hit Rage Fist for like 280 or whatever. It's a cool card. Hello? Matt Cross. Never coming out. Annihilate is also canonically one of the Pokemon that is allowed to swear. The grapple locked. Gotta get you. It's a different Haunter. We've seen 2 different Haunters. Yeah, so slow acting. At the end of your opponent's next turn, the defendant Pokemon will be knocked out. If you switch out, it lives. Because it has to still be the defending Pokemon at the end of the turn. So if they have like a way to 0 retreat it, they're not going to keep it in there. You probably have to like work on making sure they can't do that. So like this reads powerfully, but like needs a way to lock that Pokemon in place, and even then like escape rope style effects can just switch it out. So it's not as powerful as this reads. Oh man, oh, Shindir, yes. Except for you can just walk away. Like, what? Like, Kenshiro punches you, just go, nah, I'm leaving. I ain't fighting this. You just walk away. Like, I'm good. I don't need to explode today. Yo, a Gengar! Okay, I was just saying, we only can see the Haunters. Oh, look, it's a... Yeah, nah, it'll live. It's fine. Once during your turn, you may switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Okay. So Gengar gives you full swapping abilities. Gengar, friend of Palafin. Did you know? Palafin and Gengar are cool buddies. Now you know. Yeah! Whooper. I love... So, Scarlet Violet has some of my favorite Pokemon in it. I'm such a big fan of Clodsire. I'm such a big fan of Ceruledge, Tinkaton. Pretty good Whooper. After losing a territorial struggle, Whooper began living on land. Oh, Scraggy. Scraggy always having to pull up pants. Dog. It always scowls as an attempt to make opponents take it seriously, but even crying children will burst into laughter when they see Mashiv's face. Everyone loves this dog. Now this is a unique dog styling. Once during your turn, you can switch out the active Pokemon. Oh, okay, you can force your opponent to make a swap. They get to choose, but you can force the swap. So, like, this would be a way of, like, bypassing the, like, prevent all damage would be dealt to your active. Takes Avery looking at his dog. Ah. Loves playing with kids. Vroom. This card, there's a number of the, like, decks that PTCG Live gives you that have Reverum in it, because this is a very generic way to have a pretty nice draw power piece. Draw up to 6. Even if you can't use the attack, like, this line is powerful enough to like, have, as in some instances, where, like, you want to recur the energy would be a good instance. Angry face. Iron Treads EX, 220 future Pokemon. Steel 1. 150. After doing damage, you can discard all future booster energy capsules from this Pokemon. If you do, it takes 150 less damage. Okay, so you could just burn the future booster off of it to make it just immune. Yeah, I think Bibarel's F. Hey! Oh my god. Oh. Hello? Future Booster is a card that's actually called Future Booster Energy Capsule. 1. Attach any number of steel energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. Somebody asked what steel acceleration looks like. The perfect 1000 is here. And then flip a coin for each steel energy on this Pokemon. 80 damage for each heads. Just go to town. Pokemon gets along well with others and quick to make friends with anybody. Golden Go's cool. Yeah, cute little bat. Yeah, we saw the future booster earlier. And the ancient booster. I'll pull them up after we're out of this. Foily bat. Another Charmander. Oh, is this the same? I think this is the same Charmander we had the full art of, text-wise. Discard a Stadium, 30 damage, 70 HP. Yeah, this is the, like, non-full art version of that Charmander. Oh, look at the mice working together. Carrying the rock across the stream. Also slapping. Ah. I love, again, the yelling is the important. This attack does 70 damage for each mouse hold in play. Alright. Much like the defensive mouse hold we saw before that cares about mouse hold in play. That seems to be a running thing about it. These arts are so cute, Babs. I love them all. Please, Squawk. Don't get me. Squawkabilly EX is on your first turn. You can discard your hand, draw 6. For like a turn 1 setup. And then like a usable attack that does some acceleration. But this is like a really strong like setup card. Charmander. Oh, Magmar just looking at the stars. Like we got the sunset kind of in the background. These nice looking trees. It's good. Ah, the judge. Yes. Here is the judge. Judge is a card that's existed for years and years and years in the game. This is a type of equalizer for if your opponent is doing draw a million nonsense. Yeah, there's like a million different judges that you can have. This is the way that you can you can use this to like refill from 0 or 1 up to 4. But you can also use this to knock your opponent down to from like, you know, they do a draw 7 and you're like, cool, judge back to 4, or like, you know, something like that where they're doing some nonsense. You just knock them back down. Touchdown. Judge has been around for a long time. Serves an important purpose. Yeah, this one's really good. Top 5 cards of your deck. Tap 2 basic lightning energy to your bench Pokemon. This is the real stuff. Like, talking about some ways, like ways of accelerating. This is big news. Yeah, she's here. Iono is a almost. Iono is not N. N is, I think, one of my. N is my favorite card in Pokemon for like the flexibility of the design. It's very powerful, and Iono is very much N. She's so good. Each player shuffles their hand to the bottom, and then as long as there was one card anywhere, you draw a card for each of your remaining prizes. On turn 1, turn 2, when you can play supporters, this is each player draws to 6. You bottom deck your hands, you draw 6. But as a comeback mechanic, if your opponent's on 2 prizes and you're on like 5 or 4 still, you can use this to just tank their entire hand. Like, nice 6 cards, bottom of deck them, draw 2, please. While you still get to buy back in. Like, she's got the sharp teeth. She's hanging out in the stadium. She's very powerful. Yeah. N shuffles them in. That's the distinction between the two. N is both players shuffle their hands in and then draw that many. Iono bottoms them, which actually does change up. Also, Iono needs a card. Somebody needs to have put a card on bottom. If everybody's empty-handed, this card just fails. So there needs to be a card somewhere for Iono. Those are the differences. But very close to N, which makes Iono, like, also Iono's great, too. Like, that's a different part of Iono. Hey, Nimona. I talked about basic cards. Just, like, the most basic thing you could possibly have. Nimona is... This is the lowest a supporter can be. You don't play Nimona in a deck, very sadly. Because every supporter is going to do more than draw 3 cards. This is the baseline, though. There's an item card in the set that gets you 2 Nimonas. That's funny. In general, you need, like, you're looking for more than just draw 3. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah. JK Word such a recall is worthless. It's kind of wild. It's not that it's worthless, it's just that because you're so limited on supporters, like, what if Ancestral Recall was the worst draw spell, right? Like, also, hey, hold on. Yo, okay. These are a super cool type of card that hand off attacks. The Pokemon this card is attached, you can use this attack. If it's attached to one of your Pokemon, discard at end of turn. 3 energy, 280. You can only use this if your opponent is exactly on 1. Like, that means, so 1 prize card left means that they are 1 knockout from winning. So this is the heavy panic button. Oh god, I need the biggest attack in the world. Huh. Yeah. Alright, I got one more set of these. So this set is Paradox Rift. Yeah, the TMs are really cool as an idea. There's been a couple different variations on TMs or move learning cards in the past, and they're super cool. I love, like, item card that hands off an attack in this game because, like, you can set up more around that. Okay. All right, Paradox Rift. We got that water Garchomp. I always thought of this Pokemon as a Mario power up. Like this is just like if Mario grabs this, Mario gets tall and transforms into stone. Or like salt. Yeah, this makes Rock Mario. Like oh my god. Oh, okay. Like, I enjoy this art for, like, the tilted, like, it looks like it's kind of wiggling to move. Now this, though. Like, the path moving up. Oh, that's so good. Like, this is the lone rock out in the dry seabed. It's cute. And of course, from Knucklestack, once during your turn, you can attach a basic fighting energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Heal 30? Oh. Okay. This is to be energized by the rock salt. Garganackle wants this. This is cool. Nice. This doesn't even say bench Pokemon. It just says to your Pokemon, and it like the healing is minor, but like that's nice. That's a cool ability. Stage 2 means that like you're pretty like you take some time to get online and you're competing against things like Excalibur and like Gardevoir as far as engines go, so it's not as like strong as that, but this is still something cool to build around, and that's the important thing. You can like Garganackle here can absolutely you can build around and have a good time. Oh, this is Garganackle in Area 0, by the way. The starter deck uses this ability to feel a Pokemon that doesn't attack, those 70 damage per energy you discard from any of your Pokemon. Oh, does it use the big Raikou, the ancient Raikou? Or Beetle. Look at that. This Orb Beetle is doing like the cross arms, like, and is coming at you in the. Oh god, this is such a cool Orb Beetle. Like this Orb Beetle is about to do like a side swoop and then just blast you with a beam. Also, this attack is neat. 30 damage for each energy in your opponent's discard pile. Sadly, that's like an unreliable thing, so it's hard to build around something like that, but it can be a powerful punisher against certain decks. Like, I can see where you would want that, you know? We had seen like the water one of the water cards. It's like your top 6. It was Kingdra, you know, something like that. What a cool Orb Beetle. This is a one I used in this was Sword Shield, I believe. Somebody caught the Morpeko eating the berry out in the woods. If this Pokemon has no energy, no retreat. Move 2 dark energy from this to... Okay, so, like, you use Morpeko in the front as, like, a really quick, like, swap in and out, move energy back and forth, until its hunger is appeased, it gets up to all manner of evil deed. The Hungress. Yo, Rider Kick. I love low kicks. This is just the got the Rider Kick. 40 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active. Hell yeah. So this is like if there's any damage on the Pokemon in the active, like if it has like 50, it's just gonna die. Top of its head slides onto its face, like sure. It has showdown mode. But yeah, this is like absolutely the Common Rider. It's specifically a grasshopper, big kicks. Even its dex number is a reference, if I remember its dex number. Is Ichigo. If it not its big dex number, its little dex. The one it's Paldean dex number. I think it's just 15. What formats does Low Kings play in Showdown? Pokemon Showdown? Yeah. Yeah. Fun facts for you to learn about Pokemon. Here's Ferrothorn. Takes 30 less damage from attacks, and if you keep spinning up, If during your next turn, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, like just once the Ferrothorn is going, it does not stop rotating. Another Orb Beetle. Doublade. Oh, this is cute. This does like the Swords Dance is. This is generally how Swords Dance works on from like literally like the earliest Pokemon sets. Scyther had a Swords Dance into a move. Eviolite and just go to town. Nice. It's got 2 swords. What more do you need? Ooh, yeah. This is a thing that's both like a Scarlet Violet mechanic, but it's also like how we do some of these EXs. The EXs can be Terra typed. And in Scarlet Violet, if you terrestrialize, you put a little crystal hat on your Pokemon, and it changes the type of the Pokemon. This means that this fire starter is terrestrialized into steel. All of a sudden, it goes from like a fire Pokemon to like a fire weak Pokemon. It changes the weaknesses that your deck hits on, which makes it really interesting as a. It also like Terra types just don't take damage on bench. But once during your turn, discard a fire energy from your hand in order to use this ability. Your attacks do 60 more damage. Oh, that's not this Pokemon. That's just. Oh. Huh. Whatever your attacks are, just plus 60. Yeah, steel also means that it can hit ice, water types. Which, like, so water has, like, there's water types who are water types and water types that are ice types, and ice types get steel as their weakness. So this can hit some water types in effective ways. This damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's act. Okay, so Lusterberg can just pierce anything. Dang. Hey! Hey, buddy. Just hopping. Oh, weakness isn't an effect, to my knowledge. An effect is like effect text on... Like, that's like added on. Oh, hello? Once during your turn, flip a coin, Buggy Turbo. If heads, attach 4 energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. If tails, discard an energy. And then it does 40x. Holy smokes. Porygon Z, Buggy Turbo. Academics can't agree on whether Porygon Z is really an evolution. cute. That's fun. Apply smoothing algorithms to the duck. Another, all right. Oh. Sad Whimsor just sort of in a corner. Wow. Another Nimble. I enjoy that there's different choices for your basic. I think that's super important that you get like you can choose like 50 HP like Nimble with an attack, or you've got like 40 HP Nimble with like a smaller attack. Like you have like different options for a lot of these, and I think that's cute. No. Push. Go away. Ah! Discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all attached cards. Yeah, free retreat versus one retreat on those as well. I didn't mention that. So, but this here says discard your opponent's active. That's not a knockout. But if they were like all in on like, you know, the setup, you got rid of all their Pokemon and all their energy. So like you don't get the prize for it, but you do get the advantage, you know, the momentum from the action. Yeah. And like different HP totals might mean things for you could win off of you could win off of them having no bench. You just don't get a prize off of it. And like you could like de-evolution spray or scoop up or something like that. Not those cards in particular, because I don't think, but like things like that. There are effects that allow you to pick up a Pokemon. Either like de-evolve it to pick it up and replay it, or to just pick up the whole Pokemon. And so you can do that to re-evolve. Spin. Oh, this is cute. Oh. If this Pokemon is confused and damaged, flip a coins. If heads, no. Speed. Again, talking about different art styles, this is another one that's very stylistically different than Fukuda's here. Like, just a great little Swablu in this little like rocky wooded zone. It's great. Again, the pile of different like stylings they have in this game is just so cool. You know they sure are. You know what they say, those toads sure are cool. I love the idea of Toad School. Like just, though it looks like Tentacool, Toadstool is a completely different species. Its legs may be thin, but it can run 30 miles an hour. If it's like so the regional variants will be called like the regional variant of the Pokemon. So like we saw Paldean Wooper. And like Paldean, and like Clodsire specifically says evolves from Paldean Wooper. They get named up like that. Achoo! This one's cute. So this symbol here means free. This is no energy. Free attack. During your next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged, deal 6 damage. 60, but you know what I mean. Baby Pokemon tend to have this, where they have a free, like, they're the most likely to have a free attack. They're not the only Pokemon that get free attacks, but, like, they are the most likely. Oh boy. I love these full arts, especially again on Pokemon like Minoon here. If you have a Plusle in play, whenever your Pokemon attaches an energy from their hand, deal 2 damage. Ah, no! Look at the pizza. They're just hanging out, having a pizza. You can see the family portrait in the back. The coffee spilling over. The full art, again, the fact that there are a ton of full art basics like this is one of my favorite things. Uh-huh. Now we're talking. Yveltal is here. What a rad piece. Does 90 damage to an evolution and then 120 on the basic hit. This is it's a basic. It has some hits, but what a cool looking full art. And then we have our buddy Crocolore, who's just sitting out there thinking about Apple, thinking, just having a good time, looking up in the sky. Got the sombrero. This is so like relaxing to look. Like, just yes. Ooh, another Charcadet. Again, huge fan of Charcadet. I use Ceruledge really heavily. Armor Rouge is actually a very powerful card. Good support piece for fire decks. It lets you like adjust energy around. Magma Punch. Oh. Yeah. We got our little buddy just hanging out in the cave. Very relaxing, very sleepy. See the like reflection in the water here. I don't think it's moving, so it's not frozen, but yeah. Snorunt does a little bit more damage against fighting types, but you know, it's a basic, you're not sticking around. It is said that several Snorunt gather under giant leaves and live together in harmony. Hey, Pansage. Oh, these old monkeys. Scarlet Colleague, not one but two shiny Snorunt. It's been like 5 minutes, dang. Call for family. This is another type of attack. You get this like call for, like a search. I think this was on another Pansage in the past. Yeah, okay. If you have more prizes remaining than your opponent, so if you're losing, backbreak. Okay. So Palkia here has like the comeback power. Also can swap out because it has the ability to distort space. Water has strong energy acceleration, and honestly, so strong you probably aren't playing Palkia because you have like, you don't care how expensive the attack is. It's that good. Rain Dance just exists. Hey, call for family again. I'm gonna assume all three of the monkeys have call for family as a basic attack. That's cute. Again, fun to see like mechanical bits like that. Pull things together. 3 a.m. You open the fridge and Vanillish is just there. Like, what? Like, Vanillish, what are you doing in the fridge? It's 3 a.m., please. It blasts its enemies with cold air, reaching negative 148 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing them solid. But it spares their lives afterwards. It's a kind Pokemon. Why not just say negative 100 Yeah, you know, it sounds more impressive when it's not a round number, maybe. But then you can just do it. I guess, yeah, the implication of Fahrenheit existing in Pokemon. Get out of my fridge. Ooh. Powerful Cross. 20 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. That's nifty. That's actually pretty powerful. Like, okay, so effects that key off of your opponent are hard to work with. You can't rely on your opponent to do stuff, right? They might be playing a deck that, like, literally just wants to discard their hand. But, like, on average, this is probably hitting for, like, 100, 120, and in some decks, maybe heavier, and it's a cheap attack. So... When Golisopod and Grapploct battle, the loser becomes the winner's meal. Oh. You gotta pay for it. Oh my god. Oh, the art. Holy smokes. The, like, Wiglet here looking at the Wiglet there. This is so good. This is the stuff oh god, this is the stuff I'm here for. Just what? Then we have alternate Wiglet. Oh. Again, the stylized, like, kind of like seaweeds in the background here. And we have two different Wiglets for your choice. You can have the 50 HP Wiglet or the 60 HP Wiglet, but, like, one has a 1 energy usable attack. Yeah. It's Bug Trio. I see. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, search your deck for 3 tools. Okay. So, there's a Revaroom EX that can have 4 tools equipped to itself. Usually they're like, under normal circumstances, it's 1 tool per Pokemon. But there is a Revaroom that says you can have 4 tools on this Pokemon. In addition, we've seen that there were, like, the like future boosters or things like that, and, like, the Pokemon that wanted to discard a future booster every turn. This could power it, right? This could give you the future booster every single turn, so that you can always have it to give up to get the minus 150 damage combos. Hey, it's Chien-Pao, but not EX. This is just Chien-Pao normal. Oh, when I talked about a legendary basic, this is the exact setup I was thinking of. When I mentioned earlier, talking about, like, Xerneas and Yveltal basics and how they have a general setup when we were looking at Koraidon, this is the exact setup of a legendary basic. 120 health, a 1 energy attack that does some sort of acceleration, maybe to itself or others, and then like a 3 energy attack that generally is enough to knock itself out with a drawback. That's the change is like the drawback and stuff, but the design is pretty. The hatred of those who perished by the sword long ago has clad itself in snow and become a Pokemon. Hatred outlives the hateful. Hey, Plusle. I suppose if you need a Plusle for Minoon, I don't know if there's another buddy Plusle, but, you know. This one does, like, scaling damage. I like Plusle just hanging out on the telephone, on the, like, electric pole here. Telephone pole. You know, you got the wires. It's just sitting on top of one of those. Ooh! Oh my god. Minion who's shooting the little leaves at the bottom of the tree. Speedball. That's cute. The effect of buddy pulse doesn't stack. You can't, like, have 4 buddies out. That'd be kind of wild if you could. Oh! That does trigger when they're both on the bench. Yes, this doesn't say either needs to be active. Blueberry for scale. This is 4 inches. Joltik is so tiny. They are often found sticking to Yamper's hindquarters. Hanging out with the blueberries. Foiling. Oh, Iron Hands EX ready to throw. What do we got? We got Future. We got 230 EX. Arm press is like fine. Okay, this is real as shit though. Amp you very much. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by this attack, take an extra prize. Now that, that is power. Like this is absolutely, and like right now, we saw that electric generator. 4 energy sounds like a lot. That's doable. That's real. And like if you knock out, so this has like, you know, if you knock out an EX, you get 3 prizes. But if you can knock out a basic or like or you know, like that, you know, 120 is enough to knock out the Chanpao we have here, right? So like, you knock out Chanpao and take 2 prizes. Prizes in Pokemon, you need 6 prizes to win the game. Much like, you know, 6 on 6 Pokemon. That just lets you like sidestep it. This, I'm not familiar with the metagame. This has to have a place in it. Like, this just feels like a card that is like something you could, like, we've had a couple build-arounds. The payoff on this is too high to ignore. IMO. Loves Heavy Baton? Ooh, this guy's common in Dex, right? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, 1 Lightning, too. That's actually kind of notable. You might have, like, dual types or ways to sneak this in. I don't know what all future support exists, too, but we saw some powerful future support. Yeah, converting a 3 KO win into a 2 KO is nuts. Or, like, one of the things about Pokemon is that a lot of the times in Pokemon, both players' engines are able to get going, like, easy. Pokemon has a lot of tutors, search, you know, tutors, draw, consistency pieces, ways to get your plan going. So in a normal game of Pokemon, both players' engines are generally running, you know? You have ways of like just finding your stuff and getting going. If you're able to, which means like sometimes a game can just become haymaker back and forth, knockout, 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 knockout. But Iron Hands EX jumps the curve. All of a sudden, you know, 1, 1, 1, 1 goes 1, 2, and you're like, what? Uh-oh. Like, all of a sudden, I can't race you as fast. Or I can race faster than it looked. And future support. I assume there has to be powerful future support, so. Hey, Latios. How you do? Sorry, well, you don't usually see Latios as, like, weird hands. Usually I see Latios as like a jet. Luster Purge is huge damage, but you discard all your, almost, you know, all 3 energy used for it, basically. Understands human speech, highly intelligent. Future energy does make retreat 0, and somebody else, yeah, like that, yeah. Oh, boy. Deoxys is here to cause problems. Okay, so you power up Deoxys and then spam everything off to something else. You just siphon it all off. So Deoxys is kind of like a holding place. Not there's probably better things to be doing than this, but oh boy, that's cool art. Genome spiral. Cyclops has in a Marvel game. Yamask. The spirit of a person from a bygone age became this Pokemon. It rambles through ruins, searching for someone who knows its face. Oh. This is blocked by that Jirachi. You can put it on the active, obviously, but... Tink looks so sad here. Bound Sweet. Bound Sweet in the library. What will they read? I like the 2 psychic moves called Ominous Eyes. That's actually really cool. Yeah. Thinking about that Jimmy boss now. Hey, Glysaur. Okay, Glysaur does 2 damage poison. If you remember the Glamora deck I had a long time ago, that was, what, 6 poison? But this has 80 damage attached to it. So, this does more damage, immediate, as the payoff. Hanging out in the tree. Ooh, this one's really cool looking. The kind of muted coloring. 3-step strike, flip 3 coins, 20 damage for each heads. If you played a tool from your hand this turn, does 120. Okay. Hey, it's Hoopa! So, this is Hoopa from Dark-type Terra to Fighting. Look at all the portals, that's cool. This does 50 damage for each energy attached to all of your Oh. This is Big Hoopa, too. Yeah, you can see the Big Hoopa face. 50 damage for each energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So you only need 2 energy on Hoopa to, start it, and then the rest of your bench can have everything else, so you're not risking all of it to be on Hoopa. And it's hard to disrupt. It's hard, you can't knock out one Pokemon and lose all of it. It can keep building pretty easily. You're probably not using Bandit Fist ever? At all? Or it's opponents? Oh. I thought it was the Darkrai attack. Damn. So you are using Bandit Fist then, because this is, so this is an anti-psychic thing, but it's all energy, not just psychic. Okay, Darkrai is the one that has the attack that's your Pokemon. I know, I've played Darkrai EX so much, that's why I was thinking of that attack. I wonder if there's a Darkrai in Standard like that. Probably. Okay, so yeah, you then do have a reason to want to use Bandit Fist if you have to. Meteor. Foil Meteor. This one's cute, but it doesn't do a ton of damage. I like the, kind of doing stuff with the opponent's retreat cost. I think that's fun. Yeah, okay, here's the Future Booster. I was talking about this. So, Future Booster Energy Capsule. Future Pokemon that's attached to has no retreat cost and 20 more damage. So... This is a future Pokemon. We drop this for retreat to 0, and all of a sudden we have 140. And 20 damage doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit of damage can hit you over a break point. 130, for instance, can be I think 130 is about the max what you're going to see on a, legendary-ish... Yeah, right here. Palkia, for instance, is a 130. A legendary basic, also, you know, just looking at its own HP, like, it'll 2-hit itself, but like 120 to 140 means it can 2-hit a lot more. Yeah, that Palkia takes enough damage. Like, that Palkia has a weakness anyway, but like, the idea is still there that like 130 is still a number. So Norman. Hi, Norman? What? How you doing, Norman? Haven't seen you in decades. Nice to see you here, Norman. If your opponent's inactive, draw 2, then draw 2 more. They're active as an EX. Draw 2 more. Okay. He sure is. Yep, that's Norman. Okay. This is not just called Professor Sada because Professor Sada or Professor's Research is always the discard your hand, draw 7, which there is a Professor Sada discard your hand, draw 7, which is just called Professor's Research, Professor Sada. Anyway, so choose 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a basic energy from your discard pile to each of them. If you attach any, draw. Oh my god, this is Welder. This is a spread Welder. Whoo. I talked about, like, you know, I mentioned that, like, draw 3 is sort of your floor. This is what I meant. Like, obviously, you have to have a little setup. You need energy in the discard, but, like, that's so much. Like, this is a payoff for the archetype that's very powerful. Glad they've been better about standard supporter card being more than just Sugimori art in front of a generic background, yeah. I would guess that our other professor has a similar one. It might not be the exact same. Maybe it is. Maybe it's from hand instead of, like, I would guess it's from hand. If it was the exact same, like, choose 2 of your future Pokemon and attach a basic from your hand to draw 3. Like, but that might not be it because I haven't seen that card. But, like, you know, seeing the graveyard as ancient and the hand as future. The future dude is not acceleration. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a pickup. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Alright, I'm not out of cards to open yet. We're gonna go ahead and grab. So, the way the Battle Pass thing works, by the way, you can't, like, directly put money into this game at all. All these little bits. This is like dust, Hearthstone dust. This is like stuff you use to buy packs, and this is stuff you use to buy, like, hats. And you can't, like, go to the store and buy, like, gems or whatever. So the top deck on the pass is the free deck, and then the second one you spend like 600 gems and get both, and you get more than enough back to pay it off, and so you just do it. But these are the free decks that are, like, really, like here's a support deck that you can start with and build into. And generally, the way the decks work is that, like, the deck is sort of a starter that gets cards as you go up that improve the deck. So, like, the deck we have here is an acceleration deck built around Raging Bolt, discarding energy off all your Pokemon, and Garganackle, putting it on from the discard pile to re-equip it. And the Ancient Boosters, yeah, 60 HP and can't be affected. But then we get more stuff, like, for the deck as we go along. So all of a sudden, you know, we get Professor Sada for the deck. We get Sandy Shock, which, if your opponent has 4 fewer remaining prize cards, attach a basic energy from a discard pile to this Pokemon. Yep. Okay. So yeah, like, that's the way these end up working, and they're really cool like that. I think that's a really neat, because these are, like, quite playable. Anyway, let's grab these, and then we're gonna take a look at them. Hmm. I can't take a look at... I think this is a card back. That's fine. Knuckle stack. Flip 3 coins. The stack does 60 damage for each heads. Knuckle stackle. Again, hanging out in the pools out here. We got our dry bed, rock mushroom, foil garganacle. So this is the deck that builds around dark garganacle. Oh, we finally found Ghastly! Yes! Mysterious beam. I will fire the beam. You turn the corner. Ah, the beams. This is cute. I like that we're finding a Ghastly in a haunted house. And it's just looking at us like, hey. Thing I'm gonna note, like, you can see it in the art, but you might not mentally process this. Ghastly is 4'3". Like, Ghastly's a big ghost. Ghastly, like, you would see Ghastly and think, oh, it's Ghastly. That's got to be a small orb, right? That's a huge orb. Just an incredibly large orb. Less than a quarter of a pound. Oh, this is beautiful. I like the edge of the moon here. This Poochyena is gonna make you discard 2 cards at random. That's what this Poochyena is gonna do. Farfagraph. Interesting. So, Farfagraph EX here does not take damage from basic EXs. Like, you know, it's a stage 1. So, like, a basic EX like Iron Hands, for instance, can't touch our friend here. And then Dirty Beam. 160 plus 30 to a bench. Little snipe. Sniping is powerful for bug fixing. You know, say your opponent has a Pokemon that has like 200 or so health, you hit it with this and then they back off. You can try to like small snipe it off. Like, it's gonna hold that damage. Like, so this feels tiny but pays off over time. That's Fortress. I'm gonna leave you on Fortress. I'll be right back. Alright, how did you enjoy the Fortress? What lurks inside the shell is a total mystery. Nobody knows. Yep, here's our Maw Isle friend. We met them earlier. Pull in and grab attack. The Deceiver. Maw Isle and Giraffering and Farfagraph are friends, right? Like, they're friends. They gotta be friends, right? I think they're friends. Yo, my boy. Turning around and seeing my Metagross I got sitting on the shelf over here. Meteor Mash. Next turn, Meteor Mash hits 60 more. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Very cheap, very just not big, especially for a stage 2. Like, we've seen bigger numbers, but then you got the 200. Yeah, this is far from the strongest of Metagrosses, but I love me a Metagross. I'm a huge friend of Metagross. Huge friend and fan. Oh my god, this is cute. Just like, hanging out. A little confused, a little melting. Hanging out. Ooh, Ancient Caridon. Okay, what do we got on Ancient? 30 damage for each of your Ancient Pokemon in play. Ooh, Primordial Beatdown. So if you're heavy in on the Ancient Pokemon, this can hit for, on a normal bench size, 180 for 2 energy. Huh. Yeah, okay. Assuming you're on all Ancient Pokemon, that is pretty huge on a basic. Like, that's a card you can absolutely work with. Miraidon. Yeah, and then this is I mentioned this one earlier when we saw this, because this was what got me talking about the generic, the kind of general basic for legendaries. And like this acceleration hitting for damage and being a double excel, especially seeing that Iron Hands now. Well, you put Iron Hands on the bench and Miraidon goes, all right, let's go, charge up. It's ready to move. Ooh, Miraidon EX. Breaking through. 220, future. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any damage on it, 100 more. I'm using this guy in my Iron Hands deck right the second on my other monitor. Yeah. So if they have anything on them at all, this hits for huge money. And then they've got 220, which is, as you can see, its own HP, so... Here's our Ancient Raging Bolts with the discard and then the Bellowing Energy. This is the Garganackle payoff card. Hey! It's on the Call for Family. Very cute. The kitten Pokemon. Iron Jugulus. Automated combat. Alright, what does Future Jugulus got? Interesting that Future Jugulus is colorless. If this Pokemon is in an active spot, damage 3 counters on the attacker. Okay. This is like, okay. It exists. Colorless attack. Faker. I'll make you read those words. Yo. We got the cotton. We got the little cart in the back. We got all little tree bushes, little bundles. Spin. It shoots cotton from its body to protect itself. If it gets caught up in hurricane strength winds, it can send itself to the other side of the capital Earth. Alright. Cottony does not want to get caught in the hurricanes. Foil Cottony. Spin. Oh, again, I like this deer. Again, I wonder if we do have more than... If it gets caught in the winds, it just flies up to the jet stream and it's gone. Ooh, Delmise is a cool one. Oh, and this one actually does play around with the steel typing. This is another one of those like dual type things that wants to play with like kind of like not the same energy, but like you just need like a steel type on your bench and you hit for 160. Again, talking about Delmise, 12 foot, £1,000,000. Delmise is huge. Ah, the burning med cargo. Yeah, it's a boat anchor. It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be huge. 12 feet is like, I don't know. When I mentally think of an anchor, I'm thinking of like a small ship. I'm not thinking of like a giant, way the giant anchor. You know what I mean? Heat more. These are some of the fire types we saw earlier for some of the setups. This is our discarding energy. Ooh, hold on. All right. Attacks by this Pokemon cost 1 colorless less for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Wait a minute. Oh, we hustling. Holy smokes. That's so cool. So if your opponent has 4 bench Pokemon, 5 is max. This costs 1. Yeah, it plays up to the audience. Yeah. That's really neat. And like 240 is huge. That knocks out like basic EXs, that knocks out pretty hefty stuff. And it does a burn too, so that might have some more damage on it, even if it needs, which is wild. 240 with like a burn? Like, oh yeah, you took 240, well, here's some extra on top of that. You fall in the hole. The gator. Okay, looking at the gator, by the way, it looks like the like swamp water that's coming out is like spelling out like a menacing, like a JoJo's, like oh, menacing gator. Like just like right off camera. That's what you can, if you look at it from the right angle, it's like menacing, or it says hi. It depends on the angle you're looking at the gator from. Big gator, big damage. Zawa. Yep, fish looking directly at your soul for 30 damage. I like, specifically it says like the Carvanha never attacks alone, and you can see like 5. Frostmoth. Everybody loves Snom. Frostmoth's cool. Everybody loves Snom. Another Wiglet? I wasn't ready for another Wiglet. Yeah, here, this is the like building to the Wug trio. Wiglet, tiny Wiglet, millions of Wiglets blocking your way. That's a Wiglet from Rhythm of Heaven. I mean, you'd have it like, this is the arrow above this Wiglet, and it says you, right? And then you like move to the beat with all the other Wiglets. Like, wah, 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 wah. You have to move on the beat. Ooh. Uh-huh. Nuzleaf running directly at you. I like the very central like look at this. Like, it's not at an angle, it's just like Nuzleaf is a quarter second from running into the camera. It's Pikachu. It does 10 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This is just the friendly Pikachu. 70 HP is, I think, the bid for this Pikachu. There are so many Pikachus. Again, perspective. We get this really tall tail. If this was the game that would be actually random. Like the Zapdos that hits somebody at random. My Vikavolt. I love this Vikavolt with the, like, you need a bunch of Charge-a-Bugs to charge it, but it just goes... You can hear the railgun just going... Thum! Like, fight just... You can, the crackle between these two, like, between his jaw, you can hear, and then it just fires, like, the Charge-a-Bugs charge it, and it fires off. Ooh! Iron Hands, not EX. Future, flip a coin, 30 damage on 2. That's, like, fine. If your opponent's active as a V or EX, okay, 160. Sure. Is a basic future. 140 is pretty hefty. As I was mentioning, like, we saw 120 and 130, and I mentioned 140 is, like, kind of upper. And so we're, you know, we're seeing it here. Wow, this set, 162 cards. Ooh, what do we got, Iron Thorns? Iron Thorns, basic from the future. Destructo Press. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 70 damage for each future. Here we are in the future. Discard those and shuffle the rest back. Okay, so this is similar to Kingdra's Energy Search that did, like, top 6 hit energies. But this one is, like, you want to be so in on the future plan, and then you just get to go, whoop, and hit for, like, big money, big damage. Maybe you, I don't know, you can set it up with a Cyber, the Cyber Supporter. That's probably the worst use of the Cyber Supporter, but you can do it. Fine. Mine with the dots. Your opponent reveals their hand. You can use the effect of a supporter as the effect of this attack. So this does let you double up. Like, you get to play this as a supporter effect and your normal. Obviously, this is as your attack. And you can't, like, rely on it. But that's cute. Especially for Mime, right? Like, is Mime. Again, I like Cityscape Pokemon a lot. Cityscape Pokemon are really cool to see. Ocean. I used this Pokemon a lot in Black White. This was one of my favorites. Its psychic powers can supposedly cover a range of more than half a mile, but only if its 2 brains can agree with each other. Isn't that a nice little house? Hanging out in the little forest. Yeah, here we go. Reuniclus. Now we're talking. Summoning Gate. Look at the top 8 cards of your deck. Put any number of Pokemon you find there on the bench. That does not say basic. That just says Pokemon. What do you think touching Reuniclus feels like? Similar to, but not exactly the same as a slime. I feel like a slime, Dragon Quest, is more firm. Like, a slime will go like, wow, wow, when you try to, like, push at it. But, like, Reuniclus is a little bit more gooey, a little bit more, like, if you press, you won't push it back, you'll kind of push in. You know? Also, that Brain Shake is not a slouch of an attack for 2 energy. Like, this is fine. It's not like, we're on a stage 2, so it's not huge, but like, damn, summoning gate is what you're here for. That's cool. Hey, everybody. Hey, everyone. Get in here. Oh, hey, Flutterman. So, Ancient Flutterman. Oh. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active has no abilities except for this one. Yeah, that's that. So, ability blocking like that is pretty powerful. There are points where that's going to be a pretty good place. Also, Hex Hurl is no slouch. You can split 2 extra damage on the bench. Again, it's tiny, but that adds up, especially because we had that other Pokemon earlier that says, like, if you're attacking a damaged Pokemon, get big damage. And this could put 1 point on them to be like, all right, it's on. The big damage is ready to go. Gemini Laser. 20 damage and 20 to another bench, and then Zen Blade for 120, sure. Gemini, wait, this is just, hold on, did you, Iron Valley, what did you do to Gemini Man? Where's Gemini Man? Well, now I've got your power. It is the far-flung future. It is way past, like, this is the future. We're not in 19XX. Like, Iron Valiant is way past that. Iron Valiant from the year 21XX, right? Like, Iron Crown EX. Oh. Oh, this is the card. Oh my. This is the way that you combo to hit huge prize numbers. I see. This stacks. This doesn't say only one. This is the power of the future. So it uses a lot of your like bench slots, but boy howdy. Iron Crown. Powerful future. The star of the other Battle Pass deck, the second one. Makes sense. Have the future deck and the ancient deck. Metatite. Ooh, I like the rain on this. Like the way that the water splash is going here. Like you can see the motion of this kick. Oh, Golett. Look at them. They're just hanging out. Golett and Golurk are extremely cool Pokemon. They have the Iron Defense. How can you beat it? Dog. This is dog. Yeah, this is a good dog. Paw Shake Punch. Again, different cityscape. Ah, we saw Bigger Dog earlier. Because this is Bigger Dog with Turbo Energy for your discard. Again, energy acceleration is all over the place. You just need to... Mudbray hanging out, just playing in the mud. Oh my. Land Collapse. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck. If you played an Ancient Supporter from your hand this turn, discard 3 more. Talked about earlier that Pokemon is a game where card draw, wheel of fortune, consistency pieces are all over the place. This does mean that there are cases where mill is viable because like a 60 card deck doesn't say stay 60. You start the game with a draw 7 plus 6 prizes, so you start at 47. And over like 2 turns, that 47 is going to turn into like 20. Like it goes away real quick because you are searching, you're fetching, you're looking at top 6, and you're doing all this stuff. And so there aren't a lot of mill effects. Durant is actually a Pokemon that gets that mill effects kind of consistently. I remember like a Durant that milled 1 for each Durant you control. It's not generally like a tiered thing. Nothing. All these things are like, but like it's a fun thing. And like, there's only 2 ancient supporters currently. Okay, so and that's Professor Sada's, and then the Mill 6. I think that one was ancient. Yeah, Wug Trio had like flip 3 coins on each heads. It was Mill 3. So like it exists, but it's like a niche thing. It's kind of nifty, especially because shuffling things back in your deck is also a thing that gets played. Like this. It's like I set this up ahead of time to be able to show off that there was also like cards like this. Thanks, game. I'm glad that it set this up ahead of time to make sure that my point was made. It's really nice of this client, Energy sticker. Flip a coin. If heads, attach an energy from your discard pile to the bench. I see. You can rely on the sticker. I'm sure it will work. So, this effect, we get, like, we've seen in the past, like, Dark Patch or Water Patch, which is like, choose a water energy in your discard and put it back into play on the bench, or put a dark energy from the discard back into play. So, like, those are guaranteed, but they target a specific type. That's why this one has the flip a coin on it. Flip a coin, fairly common thing we've seen all over the place in this. Pokemon likes to use that as a limitation. Item cards like this, trainers, are just like, play any number of them during your turn, and you tend to just be able to play them out a bunch. It's a normal thing. Future boost. Yo, okay. Techno Radar. What does the Techno Radar do? Look at this thing. You can only use this card if you discard another card from your hand. Search for... Okay. We haven't been looking at a lot of trainers. And I've been talking about consistency. This is the kind of card that is like consistency. This is the kind of card that you get in a deck that's like decks just get this sort of stuff in Pokemon. This is normal. You could just have this. This is probably I would say more above rate, because Ultra Ball is a card that searches any Pokemon and you discard 2 for it. But like, this is limited to just future. Still, in that deck, hella powerful. It's not VIP pass, and that's a good thing. Oh, yo, another Cypher Maniac. Oh, we had the Cypher Maniac before in the full art. I appreciate the art on this one as well. Just like little licking their lips, like getting ready to hack into the system. This is the future. This is the power of the future. The gender of the future right here. Yep. Yeah, this is the other ancient supporter, the top 6, pick 2. Also, you play this, you're also hitting yourself on the mill, I suppose, too. Full Metal Lab. Full Metal Lab. Morty! What? Morty? Oh! Hello? Okay. So Morty's here. Draw a card for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Okay, I think we've had this card in the past. Like a few. We've had variants on this, if not this exactly. Obviously, it's hard to, like, be certain that this is going to work, but a lot of the times your opponent will have... no, they're just here. They haven't, you know, Morty's just here. I don't know. Norman's just here. Sometimes you have other characters and you get to bring them back because you have a bunch of characters across your generations. I don't know. But no, like, you generally count on your opponent to have a pretty good chunk of, like, base, you know, Pokemon on their bench. As we saw, like, you're going to be setting up pretty easily with, like, you know, something like the Techno Radar or such. So, past a couple turns, this can draw, you know, again, I talked about draw 3 as a baseline. Also, discarding, not a bad thing. There are a lot of, like, we saw a lot of, like, energy recursion from discard, and so this lets you get that in there. So, ooh, Shiny Miraidon future. Shiny Miraidon EX future, This is what I was talking about with the damage counter thing. Raging Bolt, yep. Skitty. Did I rotate back around? I think I rotated back around. No. Oh, these are cards I already had. Professor Turo, Research, Boss's Orders, Getsus. Getsus. So, talking about these cards, this is like a card with a subtype. You can't include more than 4 Professor Researches in your deck, but, like, you can play, like Professor Turo and Professor Sada both have this same effect. Same with Getsus here. Boss's Orders, Getsus or Giovanni or Lysander are all the same card. You can't play like 4 Getsus, 4 Lysander. They're all under the like umbrella of Boss's Orders. There's a couple cards like that that end up working like that as a way to, like, let them continue to print the same card. Because Professor Juniper and every professor does this. The subtype is basically just letting you choose which professor you get to play. There's no cards that I am aware of that go off of caring on that. This was a bug fix because this was introduced very recently. Like Professor Sycamore and Professor Juniper, there used to just be a rule in the rule book that said you cannot play Professor Juniper and Professor Sycamore in the same deck. Like, that was their way of, like, there was just a rule. Like, if you looked at the rules, it was like, you just can't play, even though they're different card names, you can't. And they finally came up with this as the fix. But it's been pretty recent since they did this. Same with Lysander and Giovanni and etc. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. They have different hats yet? If you want to take a quick look at the gallery of a full set. Oh, is that, like, good to look at these days? If you go to the shop, okay. Oh! Okay, that's cool. So if I just wanted to look at cards, I could do that. Like, if I just wanted to see what, like, how Dunsparce is doing. You know, I can just see how Dunsparce is doing. That's so cute. Dunsparce! Oh, I what if VIP Pass didn't grab like any basic? Like what if you couldn't play it and just go grab like two nonsense, like you couldn't go grab Koraidon EX and then go grab two more lightning types or whatever and then just go to town. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm not gonna look at all of these at the moment. Maybe that'll be a different stream where we look at all these. But I do want to look at a couple. We're just gonna look at like two. Here's this one. Honestly, I'm just, you know what? Catch me tomorrow. We're just gonna do this where we just go through the whole set. I don't know. I'm not gonna open. I opened packs. I could have just looked at cards. I don't know. We'll do this another time. The other one we have to look at, by the way. Oh my god. This rules! The Metagross are helping! They're rolling up the snow, they're plowing, and also they're building snowmen. Metagross, they do it. This is Minnesota content right here, yeah. This is the Metagross plow. They just... Yeah, alright. Well, cool. Well, thank y'all for joining. I'm glad I just did looking at cards. Next time I do this, I'll just look at cards, because I can just do that instead of opening cards. But I just love looking at it. Look, I mean, opening cards I think has its own thing. So maybe I won't just do a looking at cards thing, because I like opening cards. It's really good. Metaflow. That's funny. Metagross is so good. Oh. But yeah. Opening cards has its own feel to it. But sharing the full arts and sharing all these is great. But yeah, if you're interested in Pokemon TCG, this is just like free. You can just play it, and like you don't have to throw any money at it. You can't. Like the way you can buy packs is buying them physically and putting the code in. That's it. And it gives you a ton of like free decks to work with. So if you're interested in playing this, which I didn't today, none of that. We don't playing cards? No, talking about cards. Yeah. All right. That's all. Thank you all for joining. If you want to catch more, follow, subscribe. Other than that, have a good night, everybody.